Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Hope Sessions podcast with me, Jerry D. And today is a special episode because it's not just episode 14 or 17 or whatever. It's before/after the ring with two of my very dear friends. They recently got married, so it's quite new to them, but I can't wait to dive into it with them. It is the wonderful Nathaniel and his wonderful wife, Joane. Guys, welcome to the Hope Sessions podcast. How are you?
Thank you so much, Jerry. We are doing good. How are you, Jerry?
Good, I'm good. Nathaniel, you're becoming a bit of like a pro with the Hope Sessions podcast. This is your second time. So
Oh, it
you're
is,
like
yeah.
chilling.
Oh, yeah, I am because I did the first one. Wait, 2 years ago, is it?
That's crazy. 2 years
Oh,
back when you had like the Marge Simpson hairstyle where your hair was just kind of going everywhere.
yeah, it was,
No.
yeah. I
Yeah.
donated the hair and then it was like this long, like got this long, and then I donated the hair on the day of my wedding. My wife almost did not recognize me, nor Pastor Steve.
Wow.
I
But
didn't. He didn't.
it looks
Yeah,
so much better.
Nathaniel, who are you?
He didn't. I was standing at the altar. He calls me. Oh, is that?
Wow. Wow. Well, thank God we can recognize you now, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What we're gonna do, we're gonna jump straight into it, okay? And I've called this round the rapid fire round. And it seems like every person I do it with, it's getting less and less rapid. And people are just, I'm gonna call it the chill round, where I'm gonna ask you both a series of questions. But this episode is called before/after the ring. So Nathaniel, I'm gonna ask you rapid fire questions about Joane. And
Okay.
Joanie, I'm going to ask you questions about Nathaniel. Sound
Okay.
good?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go women first. Is that okay, Joanie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Joanie, are you ready?
Yes.
What is Nathaniel's favorite food?
It's
Type
easy.
of food?
Worries?
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's probably an easy one. Nathaniel's favorite NBA team, basketball team.
Golden State.
Get in there. Who is his favorite basketball player on the Golden State?
Curry.
Look at this. Wow. Awesome. Is Nathaniel a morning or a night person?
Morning.
Wow. God bless your heart, my friend. Wow. What is Nathaniel's favorite movie series? Like, like a Harry Potter, Marvel, or
Transformers. She's
really?
right. Yeah.
Whoa. I thought I gave it away by saying Marvel. I thought it was just gonna be naturally Marvel for
Oh,
everyone.
yeah. Like, I mean, oh, yeah. It's Avengers as well. Like
Okay.
Marvel, like Transformers was before Avengers because I was quoting every dialogue from the movie the other day, and I was actually watching Transformers the other day, like binging.
It
Wow.
has a story, like it's
Oh, yeah.
part of him.
That's awesome. Wow. And what is Nathaniel's favorite clothing brand?
Levi's or Diesel, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm wrong in that one.
That's okay. What about
Oh yeah. Okay. Go on.
and the last one, I like this one. What is one of your favorite things about Nathaniel?
He talks like that we can talk.
That's awesome. That there's no right or wrong with that. That's literally like
Yeah.
Nathaniel's like this. He's like, I agree. It's like, no, it's nothing to do with you. This is Joanne's turn.
Because like it's one of the things I've always wanted someone I could talk to.
Yeah.
Like there wouldn't, because I like having conversations. I wouldn't someone that would be just like not, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So we talk.
That's awesome. Brilliant. Joanne, you have passed the rapid fire round. The pressure is off.
9 out of 10.
Okay.
But now it's Nathaniel's turn.
Right.
So you're a pro, so there's a lot more pressure on you now to execute these questions one after another, okay?
Okay.
Nathaniel, what is Joanne's least favorite food?
Anything which is more spicy.
Okay.
If I slightly, if there is a bar, okay. If the
Okay.
spices go a little bit up, nah.
Okay.
She hates it.
What about then off the back of that? What's her favorite meal? Her favorite type of food to have?
There are many. Like, I mean, she basically likes beef and chicken. I mean, she prefers beef more, I think.
Wow. Good. What about
Oh no, wait, hold on,
okay.
hold on, hold on. I have the exact answer what she likes as a meal or food.
Wow.
She likes like coxinha or she likes pão de queijo. These are the cheese breads and chicken fillet, chicken filled Brazilian food.
Okay. Is that good,
Yeah.
Joanne? Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant. Nathaniel, does Joanne have a favorite verse in the Bible or a favorite book in the Bible that she likes to go to quite often?
Well, that's a good question. She always quotes Bible like most of the time, but I think I think I, I don't know, before when we were dating, she mentioned Ruth.
Okay.
I do not know, but she likes Bible completely, but
Yeah.
particular, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
Sure.
Yeah, Ruth is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, then
Well done. Look at this. Nathaniel is smiling. He's so happy he got it right. Well done. Joanne,
Yeah.
or sorry, Nathaniel, my apologies. What is Joanne's favorite clothing brand?
She's not into brands. She likes the clothes. Like, I mean, if
Sure.
she walks by a showroom and she likes it, if it fits on it,
Yeah.
she gets it. But she's not into a particular brand or something.
Cool. That's awesome. Is Joanne a morning or a night person?
Midday person. She works by the sun. You know, Irish sun just comes around at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and
That's
then
right.
she goes down by 3. By the time it sets, she's off.
I love it. Wow, what an answer.
Sunflower.
Oh yeah, like a sunflower.
Look at this. What an awesome analogy. What is Joanne's favorite type of movie?
Oh, any Disney princess movies, like not princess, but like any animation, like cartoon Disney movies, like what's that? Finding Nemo,
Yeah.
or Pinocchio, or like these kind of like nice
Yeah.
Disney. She likes anime because she's into animation.
Yeah.
She likes those cartoon, like beautiful movies. They have to be beautiful.
Yeah,
Sure. With a happy ending, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a
A
complete.
movie, it's kind of an awkward movie to watch if the movie is going really well and then it ends on a bad note and you're kind of like, oh, well, now I need to watch another movie because I'm feeling depressed after watching the first one, you know, or else I'll listen to some High School Musical and kind of change my vibe, you know.
I have
And
to listen to the Hope sessions now to be.
look at this. Let's go. And Nathaniel, the last one I'm going to ask you, my friend, what is one of your favorite things about Joanne?
There are many, to be honest. Like,
Okay, let's name them all.
now one thing is she's very soft spoken. Like, she's very soft.
Sure.
I like that in her. She speaks very softly. She nice. She has whenever you're communicating, she communicates it well, like softly.
Yeah.
Even if I mess it up, she'll be like, "Hey, don't do that, please." I
Hmm.
kind of like that. So she's very softy. She's very softy.
Ah.
Yeah.
Ah, look at that. Sentimental, huh? Brilliant.
Ah!
So that's the not so rapid fire round over. I've actually enjoyed watching both of your responses as one person has answered a question about the other. And it's really cool just to see that you guys are clearly in tune with one another. You're learning about each other. You're enjoying one another. I think that's awesome. And we're going to move into a time now where, so this is the Hope Sessions podcast. And I would like for you both to share your testimony for a couple of minutes. Whoever wants to go first, Joanie or Nathaniel Joane, and just share about your journey to how you came to faith in Christ for our listeners. Yeah?
I'd go first. Cool, because she started, I'll go first.
Sure.
I mean, like as I mentioned in my previous 2-year-old podcast, I was born a Christian. I'm born in a Christian family. Like I'm the 5th generation if you count on both sides. Christian. So Christianity was something not something new to me. It was like I was born in it. I was like, I mean, I kind of got into the culture of it and everything. So, but then as I grew up, I got to know, there were situations I faced with my mom's health or something like that. That Christianity is an everyday journey, like with God, because every day is God given. So yeah, like if I look back where I'm standing now, if I look back, I could see the journey was so amazingly written, or where I was placed as a testimony. I can go on and on. So like, I mean, how I came to Christ is by family. I was born into the Christian family. But by choice, I chose Christ as my personal savior. So as I realized that, he has been taking care of each and every step of my life, be it career, be it family, be it finances. So as more I realize or pay attention to it, more deeper I get into Christ. That, I don't know how to put that in words, but that, there's no, I can't pinpoint where exactly I chose. But Holy Spirit, like, I mean, in a miraculous way, not miraculous, like in a good way, he pulled me in, like, I mean, put me in the right direction of Christ. It's by choice. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's my shot.
Sounds good. Joanie, would you share your story for us? Awesome.
I was also born in a Christian family. My parents, they actually met in Bible school. They both went to Bible school and they met there. That's a nice story. Since I was born in a Christian family, I always considered myself a Christian. But there was one day I was 6 years old, and I was in, when kids go to the Sunday school, like during service, kids have their own service, and it was actually during a missions conference, and the teacher just said, like, at the end, does someone here want to give your heart to Jesus and all of that? And she said, just because you're a Christian, just because your parents are Christians, it doesn't mean you're a Christian as well. You have to make your own decision and give your heart to God. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. Let's make it official then. So that's how I came to Christ, like, as a kid. But then, like Nathaniel said, it's a journey. And I think with God, I feel like we go through seasons. God is always teaching us something new or speaking in a particular area of our life or particular subject or dealing with something with us. So it's always new. I moved from Brazil to Ireland. It will be 4 years the end of this month ago, and I feel like being here by myself, God used this to make me go deeper in Him, in the sense that I was not so dependent on my parents, especially my dad, to go to God. It's kind of I have access to God by myself and develop this relationship.
Yeah, I love it. Do you know, there's two things that I've been listening to as you both have been sharing your stories, and it's that you both were graced to grow up in Christian households, which is incredible. I remember I had a conversation with someone in church probably about 4 or 5 months ago, and they were feeling quite discouraged, and they said to me, "I don't feel like my testimony is powerful enough." I said, "What do you mean?" Powerful enough? And they were explaining, "Oh, I heard about a drug addict's testimony. He was on the verge of death." And I said, no, I said, your testimony is powerful because it's of the mercy of God, but also the keeping power of God to keep you from a lot of hardships that people who get involved in different things have to go through. You know, as you said, it's like a journey. For some people, it's a longer journey to come to faith in Christ. But for you guys, it's awesome to know that the Lord has put you both in a Christian household. And I'm really encouraged by that the fact that the keeping power of God is currently at work in both of your lives. And Joanna, even the fact that you mentioned as well, about how when you left home, you became independent. So your faith with God really just took off because it was no longer, as you said, you had to go to your earthly father, but you learned how to go to your heavenly father. It was the same for me when I left home at 17. I was quite sheltered at home. Mommy and daddy took care of the bills, the food, my washing. I was basically just like a spoiled child at home. But when I left, you have to learn how to go pay bills. I mean, washing my clothes, cooking my own meals. What? Mom, can you cook my food? You know? Like, but I love that because it was the same for me. You know, your faith in God becomes very personal when you leave home, because then you learn that it's the power of God at work in every aspect of your life, not just, oh, I go to Sunday school, yay, woo, 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 but that He's actually Monday morning when you wake up, and the Monday morning blues are there, that He's there as well, ready to speak, ready to encourage and help you along your day. So I'm so thankful that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of our listeners, especially, will be able to relate to that about, yes, there's a point in their life where they put their faith in Christ, but then there was also another point in their life where their faith journey became their own and not someone else's experience. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say in, I suppose, a roundabout tangent way. So I'm so encouraged by that, but I'm also encouraged by the fact that, Joanna, you came from Brazil. Nathaniel came from India. Like, it's not a bus ride away. It's probably like 100 or 200 bus rides away from each other. And yet God brought you both together to meet in Ireland, and now you're both living in Kilkenny. I mean, that's a testament to the keeping power of God, that He kept you both for a particular period of time where you would both cross each other's paths. Now you're married. And I want to say this as we dive into some of the questions, okay? I've been friends with Nathaniel since 2020, the lockdown. And when I found out Nathaniel was a Golden State Warriors fan, we became brothers for life instantly. And that's not going to change. I love it. Me too. Right. And so I'd be hanging out with Nathaniel. We'd go for coffee. We'd go to KFC. We'd be walking around Douglas. And remember those days sitting on the wall outside Douglas Shopping Center? And and then I noticed then, like, he began to talk about this girl, and I was kind of like, oh, I'm delighted that he's talking to someone. But it wasn't just that he was talking about this girl, but when he would talk about this girl, his demeanor, his attitude would change. He would talk about this girl called Joanne with such love, such affection, such genuine respect. And I was kind of going, wow, like, you kept that on the low. And then lo and behold, you were both on the same Zoom call for our young adults small groups. And I want to say this, Joanne, because I've never, in all my lad friends that I have, I've never known someone to speak about their significant other the way he has honored you before you were even married. Like, really, I mean, he really would. He would actually, there were certain points where we would talk where he would get so overcome with emotion where he would stop and he'd just be just like, whoa, thank you, Jesus. Legit. And that's just a testament to the sort of man that Nathaniel is. I feel it's important for me to say that because I was encouraged to know that it wasn't just, oh, I met this girl, Joanne. Yeah, she's nice. You know, it wasn't like that. He's a very heartfelt guy. But I want to dive into some questions because
thank you for telling that. I didn't know that.
There you go. Now, Nathaniel, I've got you, bro. You know, and I think anyone listening to this podcast episode in particular, because of the topic in it, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I love seeing people in love. Yes, I'm a weirdo. Yes, I love romantic movies. I love High School Musical. I love The Greatest Showman. I know all the songs off by heart, but I'm so thankful to know that God is not only is he working in people's life, but he's also in the business of bringing people together in the context of a relationship, which would then come into a marriage. And I want to ask, so I'm going to throw out a series of questions and we're going to just get into what your journey was like from dating to marriage. And I suppose the obvious question is, how did you both start dating? What did that journey look like? If you both want to share, that's totally fine, up to yourselves.
Oh yeah, like, do you want to go?
Yeah, like you mentioned, we met on a Zoom call
Yeah.
during lockdown, because like the reason I live in Kilkenny, but I went on the Zoom call of Cork Church.
Yeah.
Because in 2019, I went to the summer fire camp.
Yeah.
And somehow they put me in the same bedroom as Janaina. So
oh yeah,
I met her in summer fire and we became really close friends.
Wow.
We kept in touch. So when lockdown happened and all the small groups moved online, she invited me, so I joined. I started going to the small groups.
Yeah.
From Cork. How do you call it? The young adults group.
Yeah.
In 2020, but then there was the break for Christmas, New Year, and then in January 21, the groups resumed.
Yeah.
But then they shuffled the groups. It was not the exact same group as before. So that's how we both ended up in the same group.
Awesome. God shuffled the group purposely, not young adults, not the young adult leaders. God himself said, right, this is the time where I'm going to cross their paths.
It's true. Yeah. So yeah, like, I mean, go on. Let's finish the Zoom call thing.
Yeah, like you were going to Cork Church already.
Yeah,
that's
I was part of Cork Church by then. Yeah,
you were there.
And then, yeah, go. Sorry.
So yeah, like just before that, I actually went through a phase that I was really discouraged in that area of relationships.
Yeah.
I got to the point that I thought, maybe this is not for me. Maybe this is not God's will for me to get married. And I was really, really, really discouraged. And I asked, like, God, if this is not for me, just take it out of my heart. Like,
yeah.
Because if it's not happening and if it's not meant to be, I don't want to suffer. And like, I just want to be happy and satisfied.
Yeah.
And then I shared that with my dad, and my dad was like, please don't pray like that. Don't do that. Like, go, you're gonna find someone. don't worry. And I heard a preaching about faith And in that preaching, the preacher said that when you stop praying about something, it means you're lacking faith in that area. And that was a truth for me. I was it was embarrassing for me to pray to find someone, or to even say in public that, oh, I would like to get married.
Yeah.
And even I remember once in my church, we were in a discussion group, and a girl said, oh, I really want to have children and be a mommy and prepare their meals, get them ready for school. And another girl was saying, oh, I really want to get married. And I was like, oh my gosh, how can they say that in public? I would be so embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I would never say that, like, even though deep in my heart, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I was ashamed of having that dream.
Yeah.
And God spoke with me that I shouldn't be ashamed. I should pray about it and be specific in my prayers.
Yeah.
So I went through a phase of like really meditating on it and God dealing with it. And I remember specifically in January 2021. And then I was kind of, okay, I'm cool now.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, a week later, with February small groups, it's when we met.
Wow.
So I feel like God was preparing me.
That's right.
For that day,
Yeah. Oh yeah, like yeah, from up until that small groups, the video chat, like even I was going through a phase, as in I was working on myself, like how to be, how to settle my mind, how to straighten my mindset, how to um apparently I was watching Jordan Peterson videos, like if you don't know, he talks about. So I was watching few snippets of his videos, trying to put them in practice, and then trying to be independent and trying to do the right thing. What if this, how do I deal with this? So I'm kind of putting myself in a position where I can deal with myself, and also if I have a partner, I can also help. So I was kind of in that working zone.
Yeah.
That's when I saw her, and then I think we were talking about Ephesians in the small groups, and then
yes, you were.
Yeah, and then she started talking about family and then few other points, and then that's when it hit me. Oh yeah, this is what I actually want.
Yeah.
So it's the starting point, like, and then we met, and then we started talking, and then I'm like, I asked Janina just one question. Hey, is she single? Because I made sure that she's single before I messaged her. So immediately, I don't know how I got the confidence. I messaged her on Instagram, and then we just started talking and then talking. And then we started talking a lot of things, like from Marvel to Jordan Peterson to psychology, every topic.
Yeah.
So after a month of talking, and then I realized that, oh, wait, our conversations are never bored. Like they're boring. Like we always talk something or the other. So I somehow I said, hey, it's middle of the pandemic, pandemic, 5 kilometer radius. Like you're not allowed to go out of that radius. Oh my goodness. If you guys are listening this video like 10 years down the line, just think that we lived in those moments.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh yeah, man.
Remember them. So like I said, you know what? Whenever you're coming to Cork from Kilkenny to meet Janana, her friend, we should go for a lunch. And then she was like, no. No, she was like, not no. She was like, you know what? Why don't you come to Kilkenny and I would go on a date with you?
Yes.
And
Awesome.
now this is the tricky part. Now we are in pandemic. We are in 5 kilometer radius. You're not allowed to go out, not even to church. Like you remember, like to go to church, we need to have that letter signed
Yes. Yeah.
from the church so that we can show it a Garda that we are essential workers going to church. So I did not have any of that. One day I booked a bus to Kilkenny. I saw which bus, where to take it. I got into the bus. It was such a bad weather on March 27th, 2021.
Wow.
Oh, goodness. It was so bad. Um, I took the bus and I went down and I met her. And we started talking again. And then I could see that it's not only verbal or text, it's not only texting or phone calls. We actually started talking in person as well.
Mm.
That's when then after that we had an 8-hour call. We spoke so many things. I can't go through that 8-hour call session. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I made my intentions right. Like, I want to date you. Like, let's take it forward.
Mm.
Yeah. That's how we started dating.
The reason I said is like, if you ever come to Kilkenny, I would go on a date with you. Is because like I follow a few people that talk about how you can be more feminine and how in the topics eventually they also talk about dating and peeps and things like that. And one thing that they all say is a woman should never travel to meet a man, like at least the first time.
Yeah.
For the first date, it's very important that the man shows, like, makes more effort.
That's right.
To come to you.
Yeah.
Because I think as women, we kind of, I think we can get interested in the person kind of more quickly.
Okay.
And sometimes the guy can he's into you, but not enough to commit.
Mm.
So we as women, we need to allow some space to see if he's really committed.
Yeah.
You know, it would be too easy if I go to Cork and then, oh yeah, she's here, why not go on a date with her?
Yeah.
It's different if he really, really wants, then he will come to me.
That's right.
You know, so that was the thought process.
I love that.
And he was really sweet. He got flowers.
Oh yeah, I did.
But he hid the flowers in his backpack.
Wow.
It was so funny because like we met, he was wearing his backpack and the hat.
Proper nerd.
Yeah, like that. And we sat down on, of course, public open space because it was COVID. And he opens his backpack and pull out the flowers. It was funny. It was so sweet.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was. We talked about everything on that first date.
Wow.
I want to tell viewers this. Please don't break rules and get inspiration from me. You might, guards might. Disclaimer. Because one of the trips she was coming down, guards actually stopped her in the bus. So don't break the rule, guys.
Yeah.
I did it out of desperation. I fulfilled the desperation. I married her, but
absolutely.
Be careful, please.
Yeah. What Nathaniel is trying to say, listeners, is that God is writing your love story his way for his glory. And that oftentimes that comes in with abiding by guidelines, whether you agree with the guidelines or not.
Yeah.
That's another story for another day. And Joanie, I love what you said there. I really do. In fact, it's actually, it's quite struck me. It's nice to actually hear a woman saying that about how you wanted to see the commitment from Nathaniel rather than just, yeah, I'll go to Cork, no problem. Because the Bible talks an awful lot about men being leaders of the home. But I actually believe that men are to lead in a lot of ways, in your communication, in your intentionality. Be very intentional with the person you're talking to, how you treat them. So it's more than just, oh, you come meet me, or, you know, so it's, I thank God that he has put something in you to, I suppose, be very upfront with Nathaniel, and even the fact that you touched on discouragement, because a lot of people don't talk about discouragement, you know, especially in the whole single process and things like that. You know, it's so easy to get discouraged when you look around and see people married, have kids. Like 95% of my friends groups are married, and I thank God for it with all my heart. Because I like going over to the house and seeing how they are as a married couple, how Danny and Aoife are with little Joshua when he is demanding their time, their energy, and everything else. But it's oftentimes discouragement can creep in for me and anyone else. It's natural because it's a God-given desire for us, and because it's a desire, we want it now. But Ecclesiastes 3 talks about a time for everything. And then not only did you talk about discouragement, but I'm getting encouraged because you were talking about in your discouragement, God was preparing, but he was also doing a shuffling of the group, the young adults group, to bring you both together. Like, so I see God's hampering all over your relationship, guys. I really do. I'm sitting here a single Pringle, ready to mingle, and I'm encouraged by just the fact that even in your discouragement, God was working, preparing, and to a point where you both will cross paths. Do you know? And then how long was your dating before you guys actually got engaged? Was it 1 year?
9 months, I think.
Kind of, yeah, because we met in February.
Yeah.
We had the first date in March. We started dating like officially in April.
Yeah.
And then in
November 26th.
Yeah, in November.
Okay.
Was it November or something? November. November. Yeah, November he proposed. So you do the maths. You're
8 months,
engineer.
8-ish months.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and I want to ask this, because me and Nathaniel would have a lot of conversations, you know, and obviously he was mentioning to me that he was getting ready to propose to you. And, you know, on Instagram, you see those videos of how people proposed and, you know, the wedding videos where it's the first look. Joanie, did you know that Nathaniel was going to propose? What was that day like? Legit, give us some behind the scenes of what went into it. Were you ready? Were you not? You know, because I want to hear it myself.
I picked the wrong day. Anyway, go on.
we had like big argument just the evening before he proposed. I don't even remember what it was about.
Sure.
I don't remember either, but
I have no idea. It was not important. I think I don't remember, honestly, but the fact that he proposed anyway just shows that, yeah, he really wanted. But I think from the beginning, we were serious about each other, and we eventually started talking about it, like getting married. And I wanted him to propose because long distance relationship takes so much logistics.
Yeah.
When like almost 3 hours on the bus apart, we were seeing each other every 2 weeks kind of thing.
Yeah.
and talking on the phone every day. So it was kind of hard. So I just wanted like to get engaged so we can start preparing the wedding and get married, and the distance won't be long anymore, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, we had conversations about getting married. So I knew it would happen eventually one day. But then I don't know what was it, if he said something about a surprise or what.
No, we went for a cycle trip.
Yeah.
I planned the cycle trip for a wrong day, like November 26th, like in the
Yeah,
middle
because
of
we
winter.
had a bank holiday, and I had the day off to take before the end of the year, something like that. So we said, let's go cycle in Dungarvan. And I want to take pictures. I got my friend's camera, something like that.
In the middle of winter, Nathaniel, a cycle
As
in
the
the middle
start
of
of the
winter.
winter. Yeah. As the start of the winter, we wanted to go. I wanted to take her to a beach.
Okay.
In Ireland.
Yeah.
In Clonee, Dungarvan. Oh my God. And we wanted to do cycling in that winter.
But yeah, anyway, I was like, it could happen. It could not. I won't expect too much, but I'll get my nails done just in case.
I love it.
It will look pretty when I take a picture of the ring.
Woo.
Hey, women are smart, man.
Yeah, man. She's 2 steps ahead of the game.
So yeah, like he called me on Thursday, and he was like, where are you, or something, or I didn't pick up the phone. And then I said, oh yeah, I was getting my nails done. And I never get my nails done. Like I do it myself.
Yeah, she does. She doesn't actually.
So he was like, okay, why?
It was so weird, like when she said that. And I was like, did I reveal it somehow? I have no idea, because 1 week before I spoke to her father, I was like, did he tell? Did he drop the nuggets? I don't know. Now I'm too scared to call her father or mom or brothers asking, did you mention it? And I'm kind of in my head, I was like, anyway, if she knows, if she's gonna know anyway. So let's go and do it.
Exactly.
I didn't know, but I was like, well, could be.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we took the cycles. The engagement process, long story short, that was a bad weather day. We cycled to the beach. The beach was fine. It was fine. As soon as I proposed her, there's a hailstorm. Like, we had to cycle back to Dungarvan, and it was a hail storm approaching us. Bitter cold, like literally, I thought my fingers would pop out with the cold. Wow. I had no gloves, anything, and then I proposed. Michael took pictures. He was a surprise as well, and he drove. We had to cycle back, and yeah, in that journey, I realized something, that it's like life itself is not easy. But when you have the right partner with you, next to you, because she was cycling ahead and I was behind her, we both were struggling to go in that bitter cold. We were cycling towards Dungarvan. It was windy, it was cold, it was dirty, it was wet, it was bad. But then somewhere down the line, it was like an encouragement that I have a partner. I'm not in this alone. We are in this together, in this storm. I think that's when my desire for her got stronger.
Yeah.
Because
that day was very symbolic.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of raining You know when the rain is like on and off?
Yeah, Irish weather.
So yeah. When he actually proposed, the sun came out, the clouds gave us a break, so it was nice. The pictures are so beautiful.
We have
Michael. And just after it started raining again. And then a big rainbow on the sky.
Yeah.
Like the sign of covenant.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful. It was the complete rainbow, complete arc.
Wow.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
So good. So beautiful.
So beautiful. And then it started raining, so we had to cycle back.
Yeah.
And like he said, it was really hard. And at some point, it was so hard that we had to stop. We stopped, and then he hugged me, and like just we could warm each other up.
Yeah.
So bad.
And then we continued later and got safe.
We finished.
Bought gloves.
Yeah.
Had lunch, and then it was fine. But it was a symbol of, okay, if we can face that storm together, we can face life together.
That's right. That's awesome. And I wanted to ask you a question, Nathaniel, right? Because I remember when my brother Danny proposed to Aoife. I remember the day very well because he told me he was going to propose and he was so nervous telling me. And there was a million things going through his mind because he was going to talk to Aoife's dad, you know, to get his permission and his blessing. What was it like for you to ask Joanne's parents for their blessing in your marriage to their daughter?
I prayed. It was hard because I had to ask them in Portuguese because Portuguese is not my language.
Yeah.
Brazilian Portuguese is not my language. So shout out to Abraham and Van.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Because they helped me to correct my grammar. So I put my phone beside whatever I said in English. It translated me to Portuguese. I wrote it down. I practiced the pronunciation.
Yeah.
I took it to them. They helped me to correct the grammar. I practiced.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, I was having conversation with Joanne's brother because he knows English. So I'm trying to set up a call between me and their parents. So it was nerve-wracking. Like, I mean, it is. Although their parents are sweet, they can give you diabetes. It's that sweet they are.
Oh, wow.
So I spoke to them. I spoke to Van and Abraham. I got the grammatical, everything right, written down, pronunciation, everything is done.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I'm whatever I'm saying. But in English, I was making my sentence up in my head. So I called them. I spoke to them. I read out everything which this was happening in Van and Abraham's house though.
Yeah.
I read out everything. I was nervous. My feet, the weather was cold. My feet were hot, like sweating. Spoke to them. And then the sign I got, the relief I got, that their parents got emotional, that someone, as a respect, he asked me first.
Yeah.
And then they prayed over it. And her dad was impressed with my Portuguese. And Van was like, wait, is it a yes or a no? You didn't answer. Is it a yes? Like, are you giving your dog? And then, oh, yeah, it's a yes.
Wow.
It was so funny.
Oh,
yeah, like, I mean, it looked smooth, but I had my own nerves kicking in because I had to ask them in their own language so that it puts them in comfort. Because I was thinking, oh, they don't speak English, so it's better for me to take some help and then ask them in their own comfort because I want to honor them.
Yeah.
in there. So yeah, it was a good process. So that's the peak of the test. I passed. And then proposing her was easy.
Yeah.
I had my plans in my head, but the weather was not helping.
Yeah.
But I was there. We went. I proposed her in the beach because I know she likes like beach and ocean a lot. Like she prefers beach. So we went there. We took a walk. We even spoke there as well. Like I was asking few marriage related questions. And then I proposed her. So
then I started to get nervous because I was like, oh yeah, maybe he could propose. But when you started talking those things and ask like serious questions, I was like, oh my gosh, I think he's gonna actually do it. It's for real.
Wow.
I was like, is he going? Is he not? Like that tension.
Yeah.
Oh, I put her in the tippy toes because I delayed it a lot.
Wow.
Like I dragged the day. Like I literally dragged the day till the end.
Wow.
And then I proposed her.
Man.
And one thing that was nice that we talked with my parents when we started dating as well.
Yeah.
Like when we decided, yeah, this is serious. Like, my parents knew about him beforehand, but like we had a call together to kind of make it official that we boyfriend and girlfriend, like with their blessings as well. Wow. From the beginning, I think it's important to have your family's blessing.
That's right.
Over the relationship.
Yeah. So we've talked about you guys meeting each other, beginning your dating. Now you're engaged. Now we're moving forward to the wedding. I wanted to ask you guys, the wedding day. Were you really able to enjoy every aspect of it, or did you just focus on one particular? Because sometimes there's so much stuff happening at a wedding between photos, vows, food, trying to thank everyone that came. It's such a busy day as well. There's so much in the day, but it goes by so fast.
It does.
What was the wedding day like? Obviously, I presume you enjoyed it because you're married now, so.
I'll go first. Can I? I did enjoy my wedding. I'm not gonna lie about it. So it was good. It is the best day of my life.
Yes.
Kudos to you. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Sumant. Like, you guys made it easier. Like all caps, easier for me to take care of things.
Sure.
Be it DJ or any other stuff. But that day, the wedding day, it was so peaceful and calm.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, every moment of it. Like seeing the people I love there, the vows, the food, the photo session, and then after that, meeting everyone. Not everyone, I missed few. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, and the after party, we danced.
Desi girl, Desi girl.
I was thinking of it. Yeah.
It was good. Like, I really enjoyed it though. If I see it in a bird's eye view, it's a complete picture.
Yeah.
I was there in that day.
I was, prior to the wedding, with all the preparations, I was really stressed out.
Yeah.
Don't recommend. If you're engaged and you're planning your wedding, try and relax. Ask for help.
Yeah.
Don't be so stressed about it. People said this to me, but it's easier said than done.
Yeah, of course.
But my bridesmaids, they booked a massage for me on the day before the wedding.
Yeah.
And thank God they did, because I needed it. Like, I came out of that completely like I'm relaxed now. So I believe because of that, and of course, like God's help, I was able to really enjoy my wedding day, and to see like all the little details that we thought about that were there, and it all came together. See like the result of the work and the result of all the stress, like it was all worth it. So it was really nice, nice to see everyone. And I think one of my favorite moments was during the ceremony when we were singing How Great Thou Art. There is that, I think the last verses that say that God shall come with glory.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And then suddenly sun comes out.
Sun just shines on us. It was like so beautiful, so powerful. And I could see like during the engagement that the rainbow was there. I could see that God's presence was there in our wedding. And my second favorite thing was the car going around. You guys on the car was so much fun. Waving to people.
Felt like celebrities that day.
It was so much fun. Really cool.
And then we realized that there were like 4 more weddings happened that day.
Oh yeah, another bride like waving to me. Yeah.
What?
Other photographers taking pictures.
That was the day.
It was really nice, really fun.
It was fun.
Have our families there. Yeah, thank God. It was.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I loved it. I really did, and I'm actually still very privileged, and I will thank God for the honor it was to be a part of your wedding day for the rest of my life. In fact, just to see people coming and celebrating you both. But there was one thing, right, that I suppose I was surprised by. So I know Indians can cook really good food, but I didn't know they could dance so good either. Like Sandeep, my goodness, he's so quiet, but as soon as Desi Girl came on, or what's the other popular song? Kala Kashma, woo! He was on the floor, the tie was around the head. It was like incredible, man. It really was. I thank God for how smooth the day went. Even if the preparations up to it may have been bumpy, but you worked through it and God's favor shone upon it, and you showed up, got married, God got honored, and now you both are married. I thank God for it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. And now, so I've took you guys on a journey on the podcast today about from dating to engagement to marriage. But for the single people, and I say single because I'm in that bracket as well, in case people think I'm trying to put pressure on people. I'm not. I wanna date right and get married to a wonderful girl one day. And I want to ask you both the same question, but I want you both to answer. Nathaniel for the men, Joanie for the women. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be very honest because I have an album called Honest Moments, so I think I can have an honest moment here. Men are terrible at dating. We overthink. We deal with pressure for putting ourselves out there because we're afraid of, if I go up to a girl and I'm like, hey, really talking to her, then I ask her for a date and she says no, the amount of discouragement, the amount of the feeling of failure that can rest upon men is very real. So that's why a lot of men, as Nathaniel said, sometimes it's easier just to send a woman a text and build it up from text, because we're in a social media age now, which in a way it's a blessing to be able to. Some people can't go up to a woman face to face and talk. I totally get that. You have to build up confidence. But Nathaniel, I want to ask you, man, as someone who has gone through that season of dating and all that, and what encouragement would you give the single men who are in the church who are there's someone they see and they want to maybe approach them to talk to them, or they're showing interest in them, but they're not sure how to ask them on a date? Is date too much of a strong word too early? Or I don't know. Am I making sense?
Yeah, you do, but it's a tough question.
Yeah.
Because there is no single definite answer, or you do this, you do A and B will follow, or C can happen.
No, make it personal. I mean, it's just your own advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what I did was prior to asking her out, because when I was having my moments with God, like when I was looking at the mirror, like facing myself, I started working on me.
Yes.
First. Like I was making sure that my feet are planted on the ground where I can bear the weight.
Yeah.
So I was like, Lord, help me to work on myself first.
Yeah.
So when you start working on yourself, and then when I started working on myself, and I could bear my own weight, and then I could reflect it in my life, where am I able to what's my time schedule, practically speaking, what my time schedule? So I work this job, so I have this much time. So how is my work? Is it stressful? So if it's stressful, what can I do? So I was kind of working on small pockets where, oh yeah, if this happens, if I'm dating, how can I manage my time? I tunneled after settling my. It's never gonna settle, but you have to make sure that your feet are grounded. As a man, because Bible says, as a man, we have to provide.
That's
we
right.
have to lead. But the leading comes from, you have to lead yourself first, and then let Lord lead you. Like first, Lord lead you, then you have to lead yourself in the right direction.
That's right.
Clear your thoughts, make your thoughts straight, your intentions right. Then I got to a point where that if I'm approaching a person or a woman, I'm going to make my intentions right, because I don't want to waste either of our times.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if I lead her on, and then after going forward, I'm like, oh, you know what? I realized something, that this is not I actually want.
Yeah.
Let's end this. That's what most of the stories I've heard. And then I realized that, you know what? First, I need to figure out what I want first. Because then I went to a journey where, okay, while I'm talking to her, I'm like trying to fill the pockets of what I actually want. Conversation, communication. When I need direction, I need an external voice. So these are the pockets where I was trying to implement. So she started to fill my needs rather than my wants.
Yeah.
I suck at finances. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very bad at finances. She's very good at finances. She started teaching me. So there comes my learning curve, like learning pocket, where how can I learn from her? So that's how I built it up. And then I reached to a point where that, okay, I want to approach someone, not to waste their time, because I want to make my intentions right. So I started talking to her, conversations and everything. So then we started intentional dating. So as a man, you need to have your intentions right, because you are going to lead the house. Because if our minds are not, our mindset is not, first of all, planted in God, led by God, it's going to be a tough, for me, this is my personal point, it is going to be a hard, bumpy road.
That's right.
Not that now it's a smooth, like a glide. It is a bumpy, but you have the favor of God and the grace of God on you. But you need to access it.
Yes.
You know where to look at. So as a single man, this is if you are making a note, this is one of the few points. See God, work on His word, work on yourself. Make sure that you have enough money to gift something to your girl. Make sure if you're doing long distance, you have money to travel. Because, and then you have to be stabilized as emotional and practical. You have to balance it. It is not an easy task. I can't balance it. I'm just telling you, it's as a buffer point, that balance is also important.
Mm.
And make your intentions right, like what you really want from that girl, that woman, especially when you are about 25.
Yeah, the transition from being girls to women, right?
Yeah,
The more respectable term.
Yeah. About what you were just saying, I have a verse that I read this week.
Yeah.
And it's kind of about it. It's Proverbs 24, verse 27. It says, prepare your work outside, get everything ready for yourself in the field, and after that, build your house.
I didn't know that, actually.
It's just like the importance of building yourself, your own life, being whole and complete as a person before you go in a relationship with someone else. Because if the idea is to become one, it's like one and one become one. You need to be one complete person before, because of course we all have issues and things we're dealing with, but you need like a minimum of, I'd say, even confidence in who you are, and as well practical things in life. Like for us, for example, we were already working and living like not with our parents anymore. We're in another country, but like you don't need like to leave your country to start dating. That's not what I'm saying, but like the reason why we could move forward kind of quickly, we got engaged in 9 months, and then another year we got married. It's because we had some independence already. We were both working. We were like, we had the conditions, like practical conditions to do it. But know what you want, work on yourself, like know what you like, and this kind of thing. And when you meeting someone, don't just try to impress the person. Be genuinely interested in the person, hear what they have to say. But your question to Nathaniel, there was like, how do you go? I'd say if you like someone and you're the guy, just go, because so many times the girl is there just waiting. She kind of says, hi, how are you? We're kind of trying to be sweet and slowly approach, but a girl won't ask the guy out, at least. Like in general, it's not this would be the exception. So sometimes the girl is just waiting for you to have the attitude, and just go,
I love it.
And if she says no, at least you know, and you won't waste your time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, everyone has a baggage. Everyone on the planet Earth, 8 billion people will have. At least half of them will have a baggage.
Yeah.
It's not that everyone is perfect, but there is a but. If you have God in your life, like, I mean, if you're working on yourself, it is easier, because I've seen so many relationships or someone, like, I mean, you take your baggage and you dump it on someone else, and then now they have to deal with their own baggage. Be it either side, it goes both ways. A girl can dump it on a man can dump it on a woman. That's going to be like, I mean, in my experience, in my personal experience of whatever I've seen in others' life, that's going to create a friction. Because always remember this line: marriage exposes you. You are completely exposed to your partner when you get married. all you are dating, like I mean, if you're dating for 6 months, you can pretend for 6 months, oh yeah, I'm perfect. But after 6 months or 7 months, the reality comes out.
Yeah.
So you have to work yourself on that first before you actually approach someone into someone's life.
Yeah.
I think
my take.
Things,
that was my take.
Things get amplified after you get married. So little, if you see something that bothers you a little when you're dating, that will bother you a lot when you're married. Like, just become weird. So, like he said that he struggles with finances, and I help him with that. Like my thing is, I really struggle with time and time management and in general, and he's very good in that. So he's helping me out with that. But like one thing is, oh, I was a little bit late for our date, or I missed the bus. It actually happened. But then when you're leaving, like now he sees my struggle every day.
Yeah.
With time. So yeah, you get completely exposed.
Yeah. What's your girl intake then? What would you advise girls? I took his question.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Yeah. So like I love what you're both saying. And I think it's so practical but so applicable to everyone that's listening. I'm sitting here and I'm loving the honesty that you're both sharing. You know, and Joanie, I suppose I want to ask you, for the women listening, there's a guy in the church and he's showing her interest. How does she show him she's interested without being too invested? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I think I see it as like playing a game, playing chess. It's like you move your piece.
Yeah.
And then you wait for the person to move their piece. You can't move two pieces at once.
Yeah.
So being practical, if you text him and he doesn't reply, don't text him again. And
yeah, that's right.
Or if you do something, or you say hi, or you do something, and then you're dying inside to just keep going, but like wait.
Yeah.
See if he's going to correspond to that and show some kind of interest. I heard a psychiatrist talk about the 80-20 rule.
Okay.
He says that men should make 80% of the effort and women 20% of the effort.
Yeah.
So as a girl, you can even start the thing, but with just 20%. Don't go like all in. Or if the guy comes and like starts texting you or comes talk with you, you kind of go and reply to him and just corresponding to what he is doing. And if you ever decide like, no, I'm going to take this step, take a small step.
Yeah.
And wait to see if he's going to move. So like two of you are kind of moving and then you meet.
Yeah.
But if the guy's here, the girl's here, and the girl just goes like you're not playing by the rules kind of thing. I don't know. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I do. There's two things that are quite clear from the last question I've asked you both. Nathaniel, you talk a lot about intentionality, and I think it is so key, man. Like, don't treat that woman that you like as an option. They're not options. They're real people with real emotions, real life situations. So if you take her along and it's like you're trying to like rope her in when it suits you. Then when it's not, you're like, oh, I'll leave her go because I've always got her at the end of my rope. Nah, you're not being a man. At that point, you're being a child. She is a woman who needs to be respected and honored with dignity. Don't take her on this emotional roller coaster where you like her this week, but next week you're not in the mood, so you're going to keep her at bay, but just enough where you can be intentional, be upfront and honest. And I can say this as a single man. I've been on several dates this year. I was on one 6 weeks ago where I sat down and we had food, and I was very honest with the person, and it became very clear that we were just not going to be a match. And that happens. So you honor the person, you say thank you so much for your time. I hope that we can remain friends, but just in terms of it going beyond friends, it's not going to happen. And I walked away because I honored that woman and she responded the same to me. We're still friends. That's right. Friends after a date. Crazy, I know, right? And then I love that Joanie said, go for it. That's it sounds so cheesy, but it's so true. Most of it, we spend more time up here than anywhere else. Like we have Netflix movies and seasons and series that's going on in our head instead of just, okay, I'm going to take a shot. To use an analogy, okay, I'm a massive NBA fan. My boy Nathaniel supports Golden State. So we have to talk about the Splash Brothers, which is Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Steph Curry will shoot in a game 30 to 45 times a game. He won't score every shot, but he will continue to shoot because he has, as Nathaniel said, he has worked on himself many years the whole way through his life, perfecting his shot, his craftsmanship, but he also shoots with confidence. And I suppose to put a Christian twist on it, God is working in your life right now, listener. He is continually bringing you from image to image and glory to glory. But when you approach dating from the confidence of knowing who you are in Jesus, the dating process gets much easier.
That's true.
You can shoot your shot, and if it doesn't, nothing comes of it, totally fine. But you have to put yourself out there. Like, it's not like this thing of swipe left, swipe right. No. Go up and say, hey, how's life? How are you? Is this your first time in church? And I'm saying it like I'm a relationship expert. I'm not, but this is what I do. I want to avoid sliding into your DMs if I can, but if it doesn't work for some people, send a text, shoot your shot, but also trust God. If it does work, give him glory. If it doesn't, give him glory anyway, that you had enough confidence to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's this. It's a step of faith every time when it comes to the relationship one. But I do want to take a moment to say thank you to Joanie and Nathaniel. And it sounds predictable that I have to. I don't have to. I want to. These people have given up of their time to talk to me, to share very openly and honest with us about their journey to faith, about their journey to marriage. And one thing that I've been struck by, Joanie and Nathaniel, is your honesty. I'm 25. Sorry, I'm not. No, I don't even know my age. I'm about to be 27 Christmas Eve, right? And the older I get, the more I enjoy honest conversations. The less I'm like, the short conversations are kind of boring. Yeah. So the fact that you both came on and just shared your heart with us, you talked about your love for Jesus, your love for one another. You gave us practical advice of how to approach dating and how to date well. Yes, I know there's millions of different ways, but whatever way works for our listeners will work for them. But I really want to say that thank you so much, guys, for giving up of your time to come on and just share with me and ultimately anyone else that listens to the podcast. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
And thank you for having us in your show. Means it's an honor. It is a great thing to do. Whatever you're doing is a great thing as well. We are helping out so many people out there in the internet or in the world, not in the internet, through internet. But it's an honor. Thank you so much for having both of us. I hope our conversation was helpful. I pray and hope that this somehow helps someone somewhere out there.
Yeah.
So God bless you, Jerry. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Hope Sessions podcast. I hope that your notebooks are full, but more importantly, I hope that your heart is full of encouragement. That as you've listened to this honest conversation with Nathaniel and Joanie, there's no right way to date. The right way to date is the way that works for you. But we just want this to be a resource that will maybe help you to make that first step in putting yourself out there to find your significant other that will potentially be your life partner. And as a way to close, may I encourage you to check out a sermon that I listened to probably about 2 years ago by Pastor Carter Conlon and Teresa Conlon. It's called From Deadlock to Wedlock. They were pastors in Times Square Church. One of the most honest conversations I've ever heard anyone have on the topic of this. So why not check that out as well to be a further resource to you? No, Carter Conlon didn't ask me to give a plug. I don't know. He doesn't even know who I am. That's totally fine. Check it out. Let it be a blessing to you. And why not share this with a friend, a family member, or hey, maybe someone you're interested in? Why not just slide this link to them and let them listen to the episode for themselves? And who knows, there could be a Hope Sessions wedding come out of it. Amen. Till next time, take care. God bless, guys. Hey, guys, thanks again for tuning in to another episode of the Hope Sessions podcast with me, Jerry D. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you're tuning into it from. This greatly helps to spread the word about the podcast, but also to encourage other people to check it out for themselves. Until next week, take care. God bless. And don't forget, hope is to life as oxygen is to the body. Take care.